Sir.
Tony, thank you so much. Folks, hey, welcome to Phoenix Business Exchange, November 1. We are now in the 11th month of the year. Hey, what more can happen in life? And the one thing we didn't discuss is going to be doing that motivational minute this morning, but I'm
Yeah,
sure someone's going
it's
to
uh, it's going to be
is
Mike's brother.
Mike's brother. Okay, so one quick sidebar. If you have your stats for October for money spent in amongst the members, please let Tony know because Tony needs to know that right now. So everybody send him a text message. All right, guys, over to you, Tony.
All right, and here is our education for today.
It's the very first snowfall of the season, and I'm looking out of my condo, and it's just looking stunning. I feel like I'm Ralphie from the Christmas story, waking up and taking a look out of the window and seeing it. It's beautiful indeed. I hope that everybody, including Jacqueline, when they saw the first snow, they took a deep breath, lifted their shoulders, right, Jacqueline? So this morning, I want to change it up a little bit and talk a little bit about something that's called express your voice. So basically, the question is, what are you feeling? It is such a simple question to ask and such a hard question to answer. I struggle to answer it, for the truth is, I feel many things. I don't know exactly know how to and what to feel. Sometimes I'm excited, I'm anxious, I'm grateful, I'm hopeful, I'm impatient, I'm frustrated, unfulfilled, I'm encouraged, I'm doubtful. My world changes so fast that my answers change literally by the hour. Sound familiar? What are you feeling right now? I bet your responses will be similar to mine. And I also bet that they will change just as fast. And that's why I keep asking the question, both to myself and to you folks, how are you feeling? If you know what others are feeling, that is a very, very, very cool thing, ability to have, because then you can connect with them in the most personal way. Feeling is such a encompassing term. It's much more than the emotional response. It's a belief, especially a vague or irrational one. It's the visceral awareness of one situation. It's the instinctive opinion about something. It's a specific state of being. It is a prevailing spirit of time and place. If you can tap into some person's feelings, you can impact them at a meaningful level. If you don't, you will just bounce off of them. Result, you will reveal your ignorance and insensitivity to what matters most to them. So as we move towards the end of 2013, there are forces shaping of what we feel right now. They could be related to grief of the past, reflection of the present, and purpose of the future grief. We are all mourning the loss of something dear to us. COVID has robbed us of our routines, rhythms, and rituals. It has taken away a sense of safety, shrunk our social circles, minimized our mobility, and complexed our occupations. We're exhausted just from the struggle and anxious about
You look great, buddy.
what is to come next. We're examining the way we live. We are questioning how we make a living. We are making new choices about our future. We are searching for meaning. We are seeking some way to contribute. We are reconnecting with communities. We are speaking about social challenges. We are supporting organizations and demonstrate their commitment to the common good. Both as workers and consumers, we're expecting more from our leaders and the examples that they serve. So in the year 2024, it could be your most productive one of your career if you harness these forces to your will. How? You simply need to express your voice. So how to install your vision and who you want to be, let's say even by the end of this year, December 31st, 20, even actually next year with 2024, and find your identity, your role, your goals. Determine your perception that you want others to have of you is key. Will your vision cultivate the openness to new people, ideas, and possibilities? See the world through fresh eyes, and you will see things hidden from yesterday's perspective. Openness is like a magnet. It attracts knowledge, opportunities, and people to you. See everything and everyone as a source of growth. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. As a champion, don't call people out. Call people to empower them with your commitment to their success. Make it easy for them to say or do things that they would never have done before. So summon your courage to do what has never been done before. Courage simply is the ability to do something that frightens you. It means taking out the blocker, barricade, boogeyman, or bully that stands between you and your vision. It could be an internal doubt that you might need to conquer, or it could be an external obstacle that you need to surmount. Either way, it means coming face to face with your fear. The moment you act, you begin to liberate yourself from your fear. You build momentum and muscle. Begin now. The way to get ready is to do something before you are ready. As people become more fatigued by never-ending pandemic, economic uncertainty, cataclysmic change, and the sheer everyday grind, they crave infusions of hope and inspiration. Be there for them. They want to be renewed and reinvigorated. They need meaningful human interactions. They depend on the precious few who can motivate. That's you. These are the keepers of the flame who burn bright but don't burn out. Keepers are zealous about their mental, physical, emotional, and social and financial well-being. Keepers take care of themselves so that they can take care of others. Become one of them. Fuel your fire so you can fire up stakeholders, whatever it takes: vision, openness, inclusion, courage, energy. Find your own way to express your voice so you can thrive on the next normal and slam dunk 2024 and beyond. Imagine. If you want to rise, do the difficult.
And thanks to Mike's twin. Now that we're on, we're also, you'll find in the chat the LinkedIn live posts. So that's the feed. Please post your contact details in that space. Share your connections. And so we're going to start off with, hey, who are we? What do we do for a living and have fun at? Susan Ebbs, you're up.
Good morning. I knew you were going to pick me. Okay, let's look at the fact that we have thousands of chemicals in our homes trying to keep things clean. Well, we can go to the laundry room, and Melaleuca has a perfect opportunity. It's called Melapower. The beauty of Melapower, it's 9 times concentrated. So a little goes a long way. You put the pump gives you about a dime size worth of product to do a load. And one of these bottles equals 96 loads. So we are decreasing the number of bottles that are in the environment. And we're also helping to rid the environment of toxic fumes that are causing all sorts of health concerns and just generally not making us healthy. So Susan Ebbs with melaleuca.com, and let me help you detoxify your home environment. Thank you.
Susan, thank you so much. Mr. Sam, over to you.
Thank you, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Well, you know what I do, mostly electronics in cars, dash cameras, backup cameras, stereos, things like that. Also do minor repairs, oil changes, and brake jobs. And like Mike said, I'd like to motivate you today to, well, get those snow tires on if you haven't done so already. We've had some inklings of snow and expect lots more. So if you haven't done that yet, or you know someone that should get them done, have them contact me and I can get the appointment for them, and usually takes me about an hour. And what I do is I throw in a free brake inspection when I do that tire change at that time, just to make sure that the brakes are working properly and you have lots of brake pad to go through the winter. So that's it for me, Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle, and a heck of a lot more.
Susan McGarry, over to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan McGarry. I'm with a company called Pure Trim. Pure Trim carries a line of Mediterranean health and wellness supplements that are plant-based organic. And what we do is we target 4 to 5 areas of health. One is being joint muscle pain, weight management, liver cleanse, digestion, skin, as well as energy. So a perfect referral for me is somebody that's looking to take control of their own health. I'm working with a fellow right now, a young guy, him and his wife are both looking to lose weight, cleanse their liver, overcome joint pain. One thing he was big on was energy drinks. The young one seemed to be doing a lot of that. And now he's on the Cardio 9. So he'll be a great testimonial. His mom has already lost 6 to 7 pounds her first 5 days. So I'm super excited for her. So Susan with Pure Trim, thank you.
Susan, thank you so much. Matthew Ledard, go over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Matthew Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services here. We are a full service HVAC company. We have maintenance technicians able to come out and take care of your needs. This is the time of the year where furnaces are starting up and are struggling at times. If you feel that that is your situation and your furnace is, needing some little love, little TLC, feel free to reach out to me. And we could get you set up here. I'd put you in contact with my service department. Wendy has used our service department for her home and one of her rental properties. And, we can come by, take care of your equipment, get everything maintained properly so you can make it through this winter with peace of mind that your system shouldn't fail on you. So, and if you are in the market for a new one and repairs are not an option for you, I can help you out with that too. I sell furnaces, air conditioners, heat pumps, hot water heaters, anything to do with gas. Even if your fireplace is on the fritz, give me a call and I take care of them all. Matthew Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services, quality you can trust, guaranteed. Thank you so much.
Matthew, thank you so much. And over to Penny Lee.
Good morning, everyone. Penny Lee Prevost, the dancing motivator and co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers Incorporated. Today, I wanted to point out that with the colder weather, a lot of people don't necessarily want to get out or can get out due to security reasons when they're walking in the snow or they just don't have access to a vehicle. So think of me for movement practice. I teach a fitness practice called Moving to Heal, and it is gentle movements that allow you to move all 700 muscles and all 200 bones in a 1-hour movement class. Movement to music, that is, and it's a lot of fun. It also relates to Mike's message about emotions, because we evoke emotions as we listen to music and move, and so it's a great way to move your energy and your emotions through your body and feel good and increase your happiness hormones. So we like to say movement is medicine.
Bailey, thank you for the moving medicine. And over to Dave, who has the other type of medicine.
Hi, everyone. It's Dave Belleville from Belleville's Quality Frozen Foods. Just want to remind everybody that I have an in to the restaurant industry where I make products available to you and me that you can't get at the grocery store. So a good way to refer me is to have your ears primed to anybody talking about having a barbecue or somebody buying a big green egg or something to that nature. It gives you a perfect opportunity to say, hey, I know this meat guy that you should contact. He has some really good stuff. So that's a really easy way to cut into the conversation and get a referral going. So that's all my knowledge for you this week, and have a great week, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now on to getting safe for the world and understanding what we're supposed to do. Can you guess who I'm going to pick next? Tanya, over to you, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Hewitt from Beyond Safety Compliance. You know how when people get into jobs, they will start to get into doing tasks that they absolutely dread. They wake up in the morning and they realize, oh God, I have that to do. And they just have to pull themselves through the day. Well, what I do is I can give them what is called a working genius assessment and let them know what their innate talents are. so that they can start to align what they do to what they are naturally built to enjoy. And with that, people can get a lot more enrichment out of going to work. So that is one of the aspects of what I can bring businesses if they're interested in looking at their cultures beyond safety compliance. How does your work look?
So, Tony, you're up next.
Yay. Boy, there's so many buttons here. All right. Okay. Hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. The people that I'm looking for typically are people that are unmotivated. Tanya has brought that up. Do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? Because they're looking at the task as a human function, as something that they have to do. They're not looking at the higher purpose of it or the longer game of all of this. Mike had touched on it in his education, where people keep their eyes just in whatever they're doing, and there's no motivation whatsoever. And so I'm typically looking for those kinds of people. If you know a neighbor or a friend that is just down and they're just not doing it, they're constantly complaining over the littlest thing that happens. And that's only because they're so focused on where they are right now, rather than the collective of what they're doing to others. Because when they do pass away, 250 people show up for their funeral because they are missed. They made some kind of an impact in their life and they never knew it. And I get this in readings. So I'm looking for people that are fearful of moving forward, because you got to realize every one of us will have fear. Just don't let it be in charge. Tony Jennis from Higher Self, where we are here to raise your spirits.
Tony, thank you so much. Wendy, tell us about housing.
Thank you very much, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. Wendy Chung, real estate broker with Century 21 Synergy and team leader at the Ottawa House and Condo Group. So unlike Tony, I am looking for motivated people. I'm looking for people who have a need to make a move, whether they're a buyer, seller, a tenant, or landlord. It doesn't matter. I'm here to help anybody who wants to have that conversation. So I recently took a vacation because I felt I needed it. And let me tell you, that must be the secret to success, because my phone and my email was blowing up. Everybody was coming forward. Wendy, I need your help. Wendy, I need your help. So the minute I landed, the very next day, I had 2 appointments with clients. I've been very, very busy. And really, these are not new clients. These are people I've worked with before. So when you are running a business, you need to always nurture your database, because these are the people that are going to keep you uplifted and keep your business going. So if any of you know of someone who is motivated and wants to talk about real estate, I'm more than happy to sit down and have a conversation. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you so much. And my name is Bernie Fransgrad, Creative Insight Consultants. We do connections between businesses, work on projects, stuff like that. Also got 2 podcasts in play. Well, one is the Knack for Business, talking to business owners and about their journeys and golden nuggets. The other one is the Property Wizard podcast on real estate investment. And that is all about just getting ready, if you're looking to invest in real estate, what you have to put together, like knowing a good real estate agent, right? Who do we know in the group? Well, we know Wendy. So, it's that's part of it. The other part is actually going to be the accountant. And, that's my segue, because, next person going to be speaking is our center of attraction today, Eric. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Eric Sonego, and some of you know me better than others, but I'm here today to talk about a very unpleasant thing called a trust. Why do we set up trust? And what's the purpose of setting a trust? So I'm going to share my screen. All right, so the reason I'm talking about trust today is because I did one yesterday, and it's fresh in my mind. And what I did for a trust, why I did it yesterday was, I have a client who've had for some many years, and they have the problem of owning a cottage. They have two sons. One is a teacher in the Catholic school board, and the other one is a medical doctor. The person who wants the cottage is the teacher. The medical doctor says, I will live with whatever decision you'd make, mom and dad. Okay, so that's the cop-out question, because he's not going to be in any position to make a decision when that caught 21 or 25 or 30 years from now. It won't be him, it will be someone else talking for him. So the reason you do a trust is to prevent other people from making decisions on what you own. So you close your world a little bit to the people that you want to deal with, your family, let's say, and you create a vehicle to protect an asset or your assets. It's usually an asset, usually a house or a trust or investments or something like that, or a business. And when you do create a trust, you are in good company because it's been done since medieval times. Landowners used to put property in trust while they were going out and fighting wars. And in those days, it was common for the peasant to go and fight the war because, you know, things haven't changed that much.
Mm-hmm.
So when the peasant used to go to war and they had a little plot of land, that land was put in trust, usually with the lord of the place. You know, so if he died, the Lord took over the land. So it wasn't much of an estate building, but it was psychologically proper. So there are limitations to setting up a trust. Well, let's get those out of the way first. The law in Ontario prevents people who owe money from setting up a trust in order to not pay the money back. In other words, if you owe money to someone, you cannot hide your assets in a trust. Asset protection happens before the debts are incurred. All right, so if you have a trust and debts get incurred afterwards by you, not the trust, the trust is protected. Trusts have three players in them: a settlor, you, a trustee, the person you pick to run your affairs, and a beneficiary, the person you're doing the trust for. Your family, your kids, your employees, in case of corporate trusts. And there are some better known trusts than others. The most common one that we see on a day-to-day basis with people who are, running businesses is trusts that hold assets, because if something were to happen to the parent, the beneficiary would be in a catch-22 position. And that usually happens with people who are on the ODSP system of Ontario, people who are hurt or who are disabled, and if they get any money, they lose the government support. So you set up a trust so that they get the money without owning the money, and they get it, and they get payments below the threshold of the ODSP system. And those are called Hanson Trust, and we do those for clients who have disabled children, or who have, or if not the client's parents want to leave things to the grandchildren, and because of that, we set up the Hanson Trust so that when the grandparent goes, the beneficiary does not end up with nominal amounts of money and loses out on subsidies. So if you use a trust, you can protect yourself from, creditors for future debts, from the CRA sometimes, lawsuits and litigations, and marital claims. not current marital claims to come. So if you set up a trust for your kids and they get married, that marriage of your kids cannot impinge on the principles of your trust. So it's a way of protecting your assets from your future in-laws. Trust can be used to not incur probate rates or taxes, and you know, the government of Ontario sometimes is mercenary in how they deal with people who die without leaving a will, and how they tax that. You know, it goes into a codicil type of system, and they take over all of they freeze all of your assets. They measure the worth of all of your assets, and then they charge you a tax to be able to give it to your beneficiaries. So setting up a trust bypasses all of this. Anything you put in the trust is outside probate. So the less you have in probate, theoretically, you know, ideally you have nothing on probate, but the less you have on probate, the better it is. Now, after we do these trusts, right, because we are keeping CRA out of the loop, you know, for 21 years, in fact, for keeping them out of the loop for 21 years, CRA will certainly look at it very carefully. And they will look at it to see that is properly set, that is properly administered, and that the income is going on to the beneficiaries. You cannot set up a trust for the income to go back to you, because the CRA will be coming with vengeance. Mm-hmm. So, is it for you? Well, it might be if you have assets to protect, or if you have a business that you want to pass on, or if you know somebody who has assets to protect, and you want them to be protected. In conclusion, before you do this, you need to have a good lawyer, a good accountant, an investment advisor, and an insurance agent. So trusts are expensive. If you look at my billings and you just don't see what we're doing sometimes, you would see that a trust is, you know, several $1,000s per year. And you say, oh, Eric, that's a great business. And I will tell you, nope, I'd rather do a year end than a trust, because a trust comes with a lot of baggage. And you have to deal with it with people that you don't know sometimes. So it takes a long time to do a trust, to do the accounting for a trust. And if you were to see my emails of what people want to get, what kind of information they want, you would be surprised on how meticulous we have to be in accounting for trusts. That's why we charge a lot of money sometimes for a trust. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Eric, what's the difference between this and a prenup? Like you had mentioned, if a person goes and gets married to another relationship, if you have a trust, is a prenup the same thing, or that's a little different?
Okay, well, a prenup is between me and my wife. A trust is between my parents and me.
Okay, but it does the same thing as far as the relation. Yeah, the trust is deeper; it goes further. But if you have a trust, you don't need a prenup. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you do. You need a prenup for what you're going to acquire from the day you're married onwards.
Okay.
You want to keep your assets to that period. You don't want to measure prior to coming into the marriage. Whereas a trust is actually done for you and your family, right? And what a trust does is keep away the second generation more than the first generation.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Go ahead,
Sam. I used to do a lot of trusts I've done a lot of trust over my career, and I used to come home and say to my wife, Deb, today in my boardroom were doctors, lawyers, other accountants, and they all acted like chimpanzees. They all were flying off the walls, acting like chimpanzees. And then my parents died almost very close to each other. And I came home and I said to my wife, Deb, I turned into a chimpanzee. because you have to check your intelligence outside of the room sometimes when you go into a trust, because you become who you were when you were 12 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
Even if you're the assistant deputy minister of finance today, you still go back to when you were 12 years old, and you look across the room to someone who was 14 years old, who was bullying you when you were 12 years old. So that's the polemics we have sometimes in trusts. Yes, they're adults, they're wearing a suit, they're wearing a tie, but they're acting like chimpanzees.
Yeah, Sam, you had a question?
Yeah, hi, Eric.
Hi.
We have exactly what your friends had there. We have a cottage and a house, and when we demise, my wife and I, we want to somehow make it even for both our children to inherit evenly. What do you recommend?
It's better to do it before you kick the bucket than before you kick the bucket.
Yeah, but I mean, what
Right,
do you
so-
recommend, the trust or insurance or what to make it even?
If you have a trust, it's because you want to freeze the cottage into being a cottage and never becoming income for somebody. So sometimes parents who want to not have a headache do a sale prior to, when they're 90 years old or whenever they think that they have a year left, they do a sale of that property to the beneficiaries. The reason it's important is because you're going to have a capital gains that arises from the disposition of the trust. So you either pay the capital gains yourself, or you have the trust pay the capital gains yourself. So trust taxes are much more elevated than personal taxes. So it's better to do it yourself and have the capital gains yourself, because you can get a capital gains exemption. The trust will not be able to get a capital gains exemption, because it's for people, not for things.
Yeah, and there's also I read an article that there was when Sam talked about fairness, having both children have the same thing. In the article I read, they both got the same amount. One had 4 kids, and the other was single, and they got the same amount. And they thought that was unfair because I have to feed 4 children. You're just by yourself. So
yes.
So whatever is fair, there isn't always the amount, So that's
yes.
Just a thought, when you put that in.
Fairness is a word that we don't use in accounting. Because I have lived it. When my parents died, we're 7 kids, and they left properties that were rented, and we 5 of us wanted to keep it going. So we had a vote. And we tried to convince one of my sisters and my brother that we would get a mortgage and pay them off.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister said, that's not fair. And I said, what? He says, no, that's not fair, because you're going to sell it in 20 years and it's going to be worth a lot of money. And then, you're going to be millionaires and I'm going to be looking at you. And I said to her, and I took my HP calculator and I did present value, future value, I did all of that. And she said to me, but it's not fair. And I could not fight that fairness thing.
Wow.
So fairness is something that we don't talk about.
We don't talk about fairness.
It's kind of like love. It's in the eye of the beholder what
That's right.
Fair.
Yeah. However they want to see it. Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you have any questions about this, give us a call. We will talk about it, but we usually we don't joke around with trust. It's a very serious matter sometimes.
Eric, quick question.
Yes.
There's 2 things, actually 3 things. What size of pot of money are you protecting? how much does it cost to set up overall, including all the between the agents and the lawyers and the accounting folks, and what's the timeline to go from hey Eric, make it so?
You're looking at physical property as opposed to money in the bank. So you're looking at physical property that has a life outside of you. So it's a cottage, it's an apartment building, it's a business, and that you want to pass on to the next generation without minimizing as much of the tax as possible, without undermining their inheritance rights. That's what you do. So it's going to take you maybe $2,000 of legal fees to set it up, maybe a little bit more. It's going to take $2,000 to $3,000 of accounting fees at the year end to do. The first year would be more expensive than years afterwards, and it's going to take the cooperation of your banker, your investment person, your real estate agent. All of those people have to be in the room with you when we're doing this. So you're looking at maybe $4,000 to $5,000 to do it.
Excellent. And what's the timeline to activate if you say make it so?
2 to 3 months.
Cool. Eric, thank you. Wealth of knowledge, as always.
Yep.
Folks, I'm going to share some knowledge now. I'm going to share a screen. Sorry, segue. So you should be seeing something right now that says, hey, calendar of events. This reminds me, if you have calendar of events that have been ongoing this month and are continuing into the next month, let me know by email. Send a photo, an image with anything you're sending. Give me dates and times and links. That really helps. Whether it's you yourself or you have a charity that you're trying to promote. Okay, so that just makes it super easy. Otherwise, I have to spend time kind of rooting around, and who knows what I'll come up with. And so East End Group, we're here. Oh, look at that. Penny Lee's busy at 7 to 8 p.m. tonight. South End Group, same time, same channel. Penny Lee's back at it again tomorrow morning at 10 to 11. So if you didn't get enough last night, you get it tomorrow. Tony will tune you in a good way. He'll get you in that harmony space. Moving to Hill, a Zoom class with Penny Lee on Saturday. We have Jacqueline also helping you kind of getting just right with yourself in your chair. So chair yoga. This is a good time to book Dave if you're going to have a moment with Dave and taste a little slice of heaven from his side of the fence. We have the Bell's Corners group, and next Tuesday, After Hours group, Penny Lee is the host, 7 to 8 p.m. All folks are welcome to show. What other major events do we have rolling in? Tanya, when's your course?
Well, it's in November. So it starts a week yesterday.
Thank you.
Week
yesterday.
Oh, that's the 7th?
No, it started a week yesterday. So
it starts on the 7th and it goes the 14th, the 21st and 28th. That's when the course actually is.
Okay. Sorry. Tanya, thank you so much. All right. What else to tell you? December 9th. So I'm hopping and skipping all the way up. That is the Phoenix Christmas party. So there is no mix and mingle in the month of November. It's combined with December 9th, 3 to 5 p.m. It's at the Windsor Park Riviera location. And Tony, what was the highlight on the? It was a cost, right? A minimum cost of.
If you just click inside there, the cost, and it's $10 per person, and it shows that we're going to be drawing the Phoenix incentive program for the trip, the computer, and the Wi-Fi for the 6 months. And all the details are there, the addresses and the link to book that. So they could book the party, and then they could send us the $10 per person there, and then so it should be a good time there. And you don't have to be there if you are. I think Carl is going to be out of town on that week, but if you can make it, it'll be a great sort of a get together. 3 to 5. It still has a great timing as far as getting there, and it's we'll have some good food there from Rivera chefs, and yeah, so we should have some good mingling there.
Tony, thank you so much. And just to give you a sense of timing, how long the Phoenix sessions are going, our last one will be in December, right? So December 14th is the last date, and then we'll be off for a wee bit and starting back up on January 10th from the schedule. Stop the sharing and start sharing some more information. World Referral Network, by the way, there's over 1,300 people now in that space. So again, advertise, get out there and get to meet new people. Even if you're Dave selling a meat in this area, you never know who you're going to run into that might go, hey, I'm in town. What else? So what else are we looking for? Well, oddly enough, Penn Lee will receive all information regarding home security, auto and home alarms, travel agent, appraiser, event planner, life insurance for the Monday group, landscaper, gardener, house cleaner, gift basket company, photographer, legal family, or legal law, legal firm, family and business law. I'll get it right, honest. Sign maker, swag and promotion, women's and men's clothing goods, promotional goods, plumber and mobile hairdresser. But you know what? Any business is welcome here, right? So just bring them on in, have them to have a chat with Penny Lee. Penny Lee will sort them out, but in a good way, right? So business stats, year to date, referrals, 434. So we've referred 434 times this year. BAMs, business activity meetings between members to build those referrals. So we did 430 of those. Business conducted between members, and this is the stats you're going to be providing, Tony, by the way. We've done year to date $228.7 thousand worth of business between members. E-cards. Now we're at the hits on the cards in total. Aggregate total is 10,000. Also, Tony says on the main webpage, if you're looking for the keyword directory, just go to that bottom left corner where you find the Zoom links. You'll also find the little button that says the keyword directory. And that way you can refer somebody quite easily. And with all that said, I'm going to say, hey, how's your week been going? Susan McGarry, you're starting us off.
Okay, well, it'll be short because it was a very quiet week. But thank you so much.
Well,
hopefully next week is more activity.
Kiss is okay. I can work with Kiss. Dave, over to you, sir.
I did get a referral this week. Carol referred Alex for his electrical prowess. Got probably going to get another spotlight job, and our neighbors across the street there. So anyway, other than that, Eric, that was a great presentation. I have nobody in trust to worry about.
Dogs. Your dogs.
They're just bury what I got. And Susan, I'm gonna do a band with you this week. Been promising to do that for a while, and just another happy birthday wish to Wendy.
Oh, thank you.
She was had a birthday this week. Was it this week?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And that's it for me this week. Thank you.
Well, Dave, a good way to point who next to come up and say, hey, what's up, Wendy?
Hey. Okay, so obviously I had a busy week. I actually on last Friday I went to the Ottawa Real Estate Board annual trade show, and I reconnected with people I have worked with in the last 15 years. So it was really nice to reconnect. So that was really good for me. They are service providers who support my business and I support theirs. And at one of the booths, I met with Jacqueline Richards. So that was nice. And we finally solidified that we are going to be masterminding together and holding our first buyer seminar. So I will be sharing that with you, Tony, to put it on the calendar. It will be on November 26th. And we will be hosting it at her Capital Mortgages location in Canada. So that's really exciting. We've never collaborated before. So this is This is really exciting. I've
Art.
also had some ongoing business with Susan Ebbs from Melaleuca. And Matt, I will soon be booking my furnace servicing just as soon as the renovation is done. We're so behind right now. I now know how people feel when they go through a full renovation at home. Nothing comes together quickly. Your house is full of dust. It's a nightmare. But anyway, by this week, our bathroom should be done and we should have our ducts cleaned by Dr. Duct. And then Matt's team should be coming in to do our furnace servicing. And then all should be good as we move into the winter months. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in person at the Christmas party on December 9th. And also catching up with all of you one-on-one. Thank you.
Wendy, thank you. Sam, over to you.
Thank you, Bernie. First of all, let's see here, Eric, thank you for your presentation on trust. It sounds like it's not something for me at this time for our cottage in our house, but good to know that it's out there if I need to. Things going on. Well, let's see. First of all, Tanya last week, before she headed off to Toronto, she came by for an oil change for her vehicle, and I see that she's back, so she must have had a good trip there and back. Besides that, let's see. Joyce Owen, former member, I think, of the Bell's Corners group, gave me a referral to someone that wanted their Corvette cleaned, and I managed to get that done on Saturday. The car wasn't in that bad a condition, and believe it or not, after I cleaned it, I put it into storage, which that's not normal for me. It's not something that usually happens, but that's what they wanted. And besides that, our friend Alex with the Volta, I continue to put these pamphlets in with my receipts, and the people that came here last week all got a copy of his pamphlet. That's it for me.
Sam, thank you so much. And over to Tanya.
So you already heard that I went over to Sam's. And Dwight and Nicole are going to be coming over here tomorrow because I'm going to be hosting an event. And I thought, hey, I know some caterers. And I hopefully very shortly I will have an announcement to make care of Steve and Ishmael, both of whom I've had contact with. I just wanted to conclude with a little bit of fairness. Not only is it not in accounting, it's I had to do something, because I'm in a lot of faith communities, and I was leading one of the services, and I'm really interested with fairness. There is a Netflix show on called Stitz, and it's about an irregular psychologist who actually helps people as opposed to just making them dependent on them. And I highly encourage you, if you're interested, to look that up. And he talks about fairness not being part of his cadre at all. It's kind of the cadre of something you've got to challenge in yourself because it's not a good thing. And I thought, well, that's wild. And there's something called the Blue Letter Bible where you can look up anything in all sorts of texts if it has to do with Judeo-Christianism. Fairness is not in the New Testament at all. It doesn't appear. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. So just give you a little bit of history on what I've been learning about fairness.
What was the name of that again? Was it stiffness? Stiff?
Stitz, S-T-I-T-Z.
S-T-I-T-Z.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Stitz. Okay, thank you.
Have a good week, everybody.
Tanya, thank you so much. And Fickle Finger of Fate, swinging over to Matthew.
Woohoo!
Hi, everybody. Pretty slow week here. I had a meeting set up with Tanya at the beginning of the week, and I had a little bit of a rough weekend here. Wasn't feeling so good and didn't really want to be on a podcast on Monday morning. So unfortunately, we had to cancel our meeting. So that kind of fell through, but still back at it here. And a little sniffles, a little sore throat, but we're making it through. And looks like I got a meeting set up with Bernie this week on Friday, and it's kind of tentative at this point here, but yeah. So other than that, not a whole heck of a lot. Just keeping busy in my industry here. We are still swamped. We are booked out till the first week of December at this point for installation purposes. So 5-6 weeks out for installs for emergency purposes. Even if you had a furnace that died, I'm looking, the earliest I could do is I think around the 20th or 23rd of November. So 3 weeks out. So, we are a busy company here. But yeah, like keeping it busy. That's it for me. Thank you so much. Have a good week, guys. And great presentation there, Eric. Have a good one.
Matthew, thank you so much. Hey, Lee. Over to you.
Thank you, Eric, for your presentation. It's always interesting to learn more about the accounting world and how it can impact people that I know. So thank you for that. I have ongoing business with Susan Ebbs and Sheldon Carrasco. I also had a quick chat with Terry Black. And what else do I want to mention? Oh, and I got another call this week for a wedding as a result of my sign that Ema had done for me. So my sign is working well. In 3 weeks, I've gotten 3 calls. So it's very exciting to see that it's working. So thank you for that, Ema. And I also have ongoing business with Cindy Little, who is a digital member. So have a great week, everyone. Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much. Tony. You're busy eating that pen. That's why I picked it. Sorry, no, I apologize.
Yeah, great presentation, Eric. Yeah, it's always good to know ahead of time, and what it basically comes down to is if you want to get things settled, it's better to settle it before you need to, because then it's too late. Well, once you have to, it's like trying to fix a plane while you're flying it, But yeah, it's good to do that. Thank you for that. Yeah, I might talk to you about that in a BAM. As far as business goes, still doing business with Josh. He's doing some things for Phoenix and for the texting program. Work with Shane just to do something with his e-card and the magazine. And Dave, I should get out an e-transfer out to you, hopefully sometime today. Sorry it took so long.
No.
It was all good.
I thought you wanted to pay me cash.
I had the cash. I just had to wait. I figured, okay, well, it might be a while before I see you, so we'll work something out. All right, and that's it for me. So we'll see you guys next time.
Tony, thank you so much. Susan Ebbs.
There we go. Thank you very much, Bernie. Eric, excellent talk. It makes food for thought. And as Tony just mentioned, it's better to get our ducks in a row before we actually need to have them done, because you never know when anything's going to happen. It's just so interesting to find out about these issues. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see, ongoing business with Penny Lee and Wendy. So thank you very much for that, girls. You guys, you have to go and see Tony and get tuned up. He has been working with me over the last couple of weeks, and it's been amazing, eye-opening experience, and look forward to further work with him. And Dwight and Nicole, ongoing business with them also. So have a great week, everyone. And don't worry about that snow. It'll be gone soon.
April. Eric, over to you.
About snow. When I was doing my first co-op job out of university, I did it in a company that called ITWAL, International Tobacconist Association. Mm-hmm. And I remember being in the accounting room. They had an accounting room, and the woman that was transferred from Ottawa to Toronto because her husband was a pilot with Air Canada says, Ottawa is not like Toronto. here an ice cube will stop the traffic. In Ottawa, it could be 10 feet of snow and things still happen.
Yeah.
I came here and yeah,
It's true.
yep, it's true.
Yeah.
Anyways,
don't have it.
I'm working on Phoenix's year end and beyond safety compliance. I'm going to Mexico on November the 24th for a week on one of those destination weddings, of which I am no part of. I'm just a guest, so it will be fantastic. Then in February I'm going to Costa Rica, and in June I'm going to Spain. In between all of that stuff, I'll be doing year ends and taxes and all that kind of stuff, so that I can pay for all the other stuff.
Got to get the economy going.
Yes.
Eric, thank you so much. Great presentation. Always good to understand what tools are available, how much they cost, and when do you use them, or when not to use them. Quote for the day: not having the best situation, but seeing the best in your situation is the key to happiness. And that's Marie Forleo. And if you want to look up who Marie Forleo is, you can. It's a bit of a sideways trip down a different lane, but it can provide some entertainment, as it did for us on Monday when someone asked me, who's Marie Forleo? And off to the races we went. And folks, you take care and you have a wonderful